A very good morning, class 10 students. I welcome you all on this online platform provided by Jagrati Classes. We were doing chapter 11th of class 10th, that is Human Eye and the Colorful World. As we have started the chapter, I have already gave you an introduction of the chapter, and far more than the introduction, that is the previous topic which we discussed was rainbow formation, and in this you should know the phenomena of refraction. Then you should know one more phenomena which is known as total internal reflection. So during rainbow formation, both these phenomena occur, that is refraction and reflection. Both the type of phenomena is responsible for the formation of rainbow. Then we have also studied that what were the two conditions for rainbow formation. The sun should be at the back side of the observer and the raindrop should be present in the front side. So these are the two basic conditions for rainbow formation. Now what we'll be starting is, we'll be starting a topic of atmospheric refraction. And in this, firstly we'll be dealing what do you mean by the term atmospheric refraction, and then we'll be dealing some of the applications of this atmospheric refraction which are being provided in the form of questions in your books. That is, why do the stars twinkle but the planets do not appear to shine or twinkle? Then the next one is, why the color of sky appears blue, or why the color of sun appears red during sunrise and sunset and then it appears yellow. And the next question I think which is given would be, yes, what is the reason for advanced sunrise and delayed sunsets? So these are the four applications which we need to discuss, and the two phenomena. The first is atmospheric refraction. The second one would be scattering of light. So as we discussed two phenomena in the previous chapter, in the previous video lecture, that was refraction and total internal reflection. So now we'll be doing with atmospheric refraction. So let's start this topic. This video lecture is for class 10 students and we are doing chapter 11th, Human Eye and the Colorful World, in which due to the latest syllabus, human eye portion is being deleted. That is, the structure of human eye, their defects which were myopia, hypermetropia, everything is deleted, and you have to start refraction of light through prism, that is dispersion. So let's start atmospheric refraction for now. Atmospheric refraction is what? As the name suggests, refraction by atmosphere. So we say that atmosphere is a kind of heterogeneous medium. Atmosphere is a kind of heterogeneous medium. Heterogeneous means when the particles are not uniformly distributed. The two solutions you have been heard the name of homogeneous and heterogeneous. Likewise, this atmosphere is a heterogeneous medium. Heterogeneous means its composition is non-uniform in nature. Non-uniform means the particles are not equally distributed in whole of the atmosphere. Somewhere the density of particles might be very high. What kind of particles, if you say, what would be present in atmosphere? Then you could have the molecules of air, then you will have molecules of some other gases like oxides of nitrogen and sulfur in the air, and then there might be particles of smoke, dust, and likewise many particles could be present in atmosphere. So we can say that if I take the structure of atmosphere, then somewhere the density of particles might be very high and somewhere the particles might be very less in number. So the atmosphere is heterogeneous, that is, its composition is not uniform throughout. If I take a sample of atmosphere from this region, then I would find many particles. But if I take a sample from this region, I would find less number of particles. It means that it is heterogeneous in nature. And due to this heterogeneous nature of the atmosphere, refraction, or you can say multiple refractions occur. Okay? The sunlight which is reaching the surface of earth or which is reaching our eyes, it undergoes multiple refractions, and due to these refractions, it continuously bends its path. That is, you know where this atmosphere is present. Consider this is our earth, and outside the surface of earth, here you have the presence of atmosphere. So this is the atmosphere which is present outside the earth. Okay, so this is my atmosphere. And as you can see, I have not uniformly shaded the atmosphere, okay, because I told you it is a heterogeneous medium. The regions which are darker in shade, like this region, it means it has more number of particles, or it is having a dense nature. Whereas the regions which are lightly shaded, it means their number of particles are very less in number. So we say that when the rays from the sunlight, it would enter our atmosphere, then after reaching the atmosphere and before reaching the earth, what would happen is, let's suppose this is atmosphere and this is your earth's surface, and between atmosphere and earth you have different atmospheric particles. As I told you, they may be molecules of air, or the particles may be smoke particles, dust particles, other gaseous molecules, etc. So what would happen is, when the light ray coming from the sun, it enters a denser or a change in medium, it would undergo refraction, and actually it undergoes multiple refraction and travels in a zigzag path, okay, because here you can see as the medium is changing. Let's suppose above medium was rarer because less number of particles were present here, this is rare medium, and below you have more number of particles, so this would be denser. When light ray moves from rarer to denser, it would undergo refraction. So it suffers multiple refraction whenever the light ray enters from the outer space towards our earth. And due to this, what happens is, due to the multiple refraction of light, here the position of the objects which are present in the outer space, we find their position to be different from the actual position. So position of objects which are present in the outer space might be different from their original position or from their actual position. That is, the direction from which the light ray enters or reaches the surface of earth. If I extend back this ray, then the position of the object which we would find sitting on the earth would be somewhat different to the actual position from where the light ray is coming. So due to atmospheric refraction, you have two kinds of position of every celestial object. Celestial objects are the objects which are present in space. So it would be named as the actual and the apparent position. So due to atmospheric refraction, what is the outcome if we say? So what is the result or outcome of atmospheric refraction? So the result or outcome of atmospheric refraction is the lateral shift of position, or we can write shift in the actual position of objects present in outer space. So this is the effect of atmospheric refraction. Now we will be discussing some applications which are given in the form of questions in your books. So the first application of atmospheric refraction. Applications of atmospheric refraction. The first one which you have to study here is twinkling of stars. That is why the stars appear twinkling to us, and you can also be asked a question that what is the reason behind twinkling of stars, and for the same reason why the planets do not show twinkling effect. So the first one is twinkling of stars. So a diagram is even provided in your books, and the diagram, it states that due to the why the stars appear to twinkle, the short reason if we write is due to atmospheric refraction. The stars appear to twinkle due to atmospheric refraction. Okay, now we will be explaining it with the help of a diagram. Let's see. Okay, this is our atmosphere here. This is the atmosphere what we have, and outside the atmosphere you would have stars. So suppose this is the position, this is the actual position of the star. Now what happens is, the light rays which are being illuminated or which come from the stars, and this is our Earth's surface, where we have the observer, or let's suppose this is the eye of observer. Okay, the observer is on the Earth's surface. So what happens is, from the actual position of the stars, the light ray comes. So this is the direction of incident light rays coming from the stars. Once these light rays, they reach the atmosphere, we know that you have many particles in the atmosphere, and these particles, somewhere they are densely placed and somewhere they are having much intercellular, much interparticle space between them. So because atmosphere is, this is the heterogeneous arrangement or heterogeneous nature of atmosphere. Now due to a change in nature of medium, the light rays, the incident light rays coming from the star, they would suffer refraction. And due to refraction, see, if we draw a normal ray here, okay, if we have a normal ray, this one would be my normal ray. So what would happen with the light which should travel in this direction? Now it would undergo a bending. So now the light would change its path, and because it is coming from a rarer medium, that is, space is a rarer medium compared to atmosphere, which is comparatively denser. So when light ray enters from rarer to denser medium, the light ray bends towards the normal. So this light ray, it would change its path, and this would be the direction of refracted ray. Again, because you see the optical density of atmosphere is being changing, so this light ray would not travel straight. This light ray would suffer multiple refraction before it enters to the human eye. And once it suffers refraction, this kind of refraction would be observed when it travels to the human eye, that is, it follows a zigzag path. And this second light ray would also undergo refraction, and it would enter the human eye. If I trace back both these lines, so I would get the original position or the apparent position of the star to be somewhat at the top compared to the actual position of my star. So this is responsible, this is the actual shift in the position from its actual to its apparent position. And the observer finds the star to be placed at somewhat higher level compared to its actual position. The reason here is clear, that is due to atmospheric refraction. And why atmospheric refraction occurs? Due to the heterogeneous nature of atmosphere. So this is the reason for twinkling of stars. Or actually this is not for twinkling, this is the reason for the shift in position of star. Now the reason, if we say that, then why does the star appear twinkling? So the reason for twinkling of stars would be, let's suppose this is the observer. Okay. Now firstly the observer is having or is receiving 2 or 3 light rays from the star. So these are the light rays, the incident light which is being received by the observer through the actual star or through the actual position of the star. Now what happens is, due to this refraction, the multiple refraction taking place, we can suppose that one of this light ray would undergo refraction because the density is continuously changing, The dust particles, smoke particles of atmosphere are randomly in motion. So every time the density of any region is not fixed, due to which we might suppose that this light ray, it would get refracted from its path, and due to refraction now it would not reach the observer's eye. So as you can see, when 3 light rays reach, the intensity of the star, the intensity of the light rays were high when 3 rays were reaching the eyes of observer. That is, intensity high means the star was appearing very bright. But when one of the light rays, it got refracted and now only 2 rays are reaching human eye, what happens is the intensity, or we can say the brightness of the star, decreases. And now if we suppose that this ray also got refracted due to change in the density of the medium. So now only one single light ray would be reaching observer's eye, and this one ray which is reaching observer's eye, it would have very less intensity. Okay, this would have a very lessened intensity, and this very less intensity, so the star would appear very dull. And due to this, that is the change in intensity of the star from bright to very less bright, and then lastly to dull. And again what would happen, the star would appear bright, and this gives you a twinkling effect of stars. So this is the reason for twinkling of stars, and this is a reason for the lateral shift in the position of star. Now the next question related to this concept is, why planets do not twinkle? So now the reason for this, okay, we have understood that the stars undergo twinkling because of change in number of light rays reaching the observer's eye. But then the question arises that here, why the planets are not showing us the twinkling effect? So the best reason for this is, stars, they are present very far away from the surface of Earth. So these stars, they are seen as a point-sized object, whereas the planets compared to the stars are present near to the surface of Earth, and hence these planets are comparatively observed larger in size than to the size of stars. So for this we are writing the reason that why the planets do not twinkle. So the stars are present away from Earth's surface. The stars are present very far away from Earth's surface, and hence they appear as point-sized object. But because the planets are present comparatively nearer to the surface of Earth, now I'll be writing in short that planets, they are present near to the Earth compared to the stars, so they appear comparatively larger. Okay, so you can take the star to be a point-sized object, and then you can take the planets to be a comparatively larger object. If with this diagram, if I represent the star, then for the planet you can assume that it is made up of many points. This planet consists of many points, okay? That is, it is a comparatively larger object when we compare it with the star. So this is my planet. Now the same phenomena occurs, that is, both these star and planet, they show the phenomena of atmospheric refraction. But here what is the difference? The difference here is, star, it is having a twinkling effect, but the planet is not twinkling, because if some points of the planet, they are seen to be high in intensity, okay, then other points might have low intensity. But if we talk about the other case, if in the first case, these all points or particles of the planets which are present to the upward side are having high in intensity, and the lower ones with less intensity, So in the next condition, what may happen is, the particles which were having high intensity, that side of planet now may have low intensity, and the other side might now show higher intensity. And because the intensity, that is the high and low intensity, changes continuously in a planet, and due to this continuous change in the intensity of planet, if we take out the average intensity, then the average intensity or the average effect of this change, average intensity change if I take out, so the average intensity change comes out to be 0. And because the average intensity change is 0, it means I can assume that in all the conditions the intensity is fixed, because change in intensity comes out to be 0. Okay, the more one side of the planet shines brightly, the other side has the same magnitude of intensity, but in opposite sense. That is, if the intensity here is plus 10, it is increased by plus 10, so here the intensity would decrease by the same magnitude or by the same amount. And this is the reason that if I take the average intensity change, then the change in intensity comes out to be 0. It means when the intensity is not changing, then you would not have any kind of twinkling effect. So two reasons are there. One is that the planets are present near to Earth, so they are visible in a comparatively larger size compared to the star. And the next reason is the average intensity change of the planets, if we take out, then it comes out to be 0. And 0 intensity change symbolize that no twinkling effect would be seen. Because, let's recap, I discussed that why stars appear twinkling. So the reason for twinkling of stars is change in intensity. Okay, that when high light intensities were reaching the observer's eye, then the stars appeared bright, and when low light intensity was reaching, then the stars appeared dull. And this alternate bright and dull nature of the stars is responsible for showing twinkling effect. But here, due to the intensity change comes out to be 0, then no kind of twinkling effect is being seen for the planets as it is being seen for the stars. So I hope this concept is clear. Now we'll be discussing the next topic, which is advanced sunrise and delayed sunset. So our second application would be advanced sunrise and delayed sunset. So actually what we have to study in the topic, see, sunrise and sunset. Firstly, what do you mean when I say actual sunrise and actual sunset? So consider this to be the Earth, and this is an observer which is present at the surface of Earth. So at this surface, this is a line which is known as horizon. This imaginary line is known as horizon. So what happens is, actual sunrise and actual sunset means when the sun crosses the horizon, then it is taken to be the condition for actual sunrise. And actual sunset would be what? When the sun actually goes below the horizon, okay? When the sun actually goes below the horizon, then we say it to be the phenomena of actual sunset. So this is my horizon, the sun is present here, okay? This is my sun. So when I would call it an actual sunrise, when this sun, it would cross the horizon and it would come above the horizon, so this would be called as actual sunrise. And in the similar manner, if the sun is present above the horizon, and when once the sun goes below the horizon completely, then only it is called to be actual sunset here. I think this concept would be clear. Now what is actual sunrise and actual sunset? Now we'll be observing that what do you mean by advanced sunrise and delayed sunset. So advanced sunrise means before actual sunrise, that is before when the sun actually crosses and comes above the horizon, before actual sunrise, we are able to see the sun, and this is called advanced sunrise. And how much before you can see the sun? That is 2 minutes before the actual sunrise, we are able to observe the sun. Okay, so when the sun has not crossed the horizon, so 2 minutes before the sun crosses the horizon, but we are able to see the sun. So what is the reason we'll be talking it about? It is again due to atmospheric refraction, but I am just telling you the difference what you have to actually study in these topics. And delayed sunset means, sunset is what? When the sun goes below the horizon. Once the sun is going below, now you should not be able to see the sun. But once the sun gets below the horizon, after that time, counting till 2 minutes, we are able to see the sun from our eyes. So this is called as delayed sunset. So delayed sunset means after sunset also we are able to see the sun again for how much time interval? For 2 minutes. So this phenomena is known as delayed sunset, that the sun has already gone below the horizon, but then also we are able to visualize the sun. So now we'll be talking about the reason. What is the reason for advanced sunrise and delayed sunset? And you have to remember the time here, which is at 2 minutes, okay, in both the cases. So now let's talk about the reason for advanced sunrise and delayed sunset. See, firstly we are talking the reason for advanced sunrise. This is our earth, okay, this is the surface of earth. Then consider this line to be the horizon. And you have the presence of sun here. This is the sun. It is present below the horizon. Now we can also take two conditions. Let's suppose no kind of atmosphere is present. Here you have the observer on the surface of earth. We consider the first case, we are talking about advanced sunrise. Here you can consider two cases, that when no atmosphere, okay, we'll not consider two cases. I'll just tell you the reason, that if no atmosphere would be present, then you would not have seen the phenomena of advanced sunrise and delayed sunset. So both these phenomena, both these are possible only due to presence of atmosphere, sorry, not oxygen, presence of atmosphere around the earth. Okay, if no atmosphere is present around the earth, then these phenomena are not being able to see. These are not seen. Why? Because the reason behind this, the concept behind this is atmospheric refraction. So if no atmosphere would be there, then how can the atmospheric refraction concept occur? So now we are dealing with advanced sunrise. We have the sun below the horizon. So what should be there? The sun rays, which would be coming from the sun itself. See, we have the sun rays coming from the sun. What should happen is, when the sun is below the horizon and you do not have any atmosphere, first I am taking when no kind of atmosphere is present, then the sun rays from the sun would be going in a straight direction, And because these sun rays are not reaching till the eye of observer, so we are not able to see the sun. But once the sun comes here, then what would happen is, okay, we are considering that the sun comes above the horizon. So now what would happen? Now the sun rays from the horizon, they would reach the eye of observer, and then we'll be able to see the sun. This is the condition, this is the diagram when no atmosphere is present around the earth. I hope this is clear. Okay. Now what happens if the atmosphere is actually present around the earth? So we have a covering. Let's take a very lighter shade. We have a covering of atmosphere around our earth. Okay, this is the atmosphere. And as I have told you, the atmosphere is heterogeneous in nature. That is, it is made up of very tiny particles, and these particles, they have different densities in different regions, and their density is constantly changing, continuously changing. So what would happen is, okay, we are now not able to see the observer. This is the observer. So what would happen? The sun rays, when the sun rays will reach the atmosphere, okay, now the sun rays, these are reaching the atmosphere, okay. Before drawing the sun rays, let's increase the density of atmosphere. Here you have the whole of atmosphere. Now the sun rays, when they'll reach the atmosphere, what would happen? After entering the atmosphere, they would get refracted, and as a result of refraction, they would get bent. Now they would not pass straight as they were passing, and they get bent on passing the atmosphere. And as a result of bending, what happens is, they reach the eyes of observer. Let us draw the diagram perfectly. See, these rays, in the absence of atmosphere, they were getting straight. But now what happens is, when they come in contact with the atmosphere, they get bent and they enter the eye of observer. Here I have just shown a small amount of bending. See, the ray should go in this direction, but it is getting bent because it has come in the vicinity of oxygen, and due to the contact with oxygen, it undergoes refraction, it gets bent and it enters the eyes of observer. So now the observer perceives the sun to be present. If I trace back this, then the observer perceives the sun to be present in this direction. And actually the sun is not present above the horizon till now. The sun is below the horizon, that is, actual sunrise has not taken place. But before the actual sunrise takes place, we are able to visualize the sun, and this is called advanced, this is known as advanced sunrise. Okay, so this is advanced sunrise, that is, the sun takes about 2 minutes time to come from the below region to the higher position. But due to the refraction by atmosphere, that is due to atmospheric refraction, the person sees the image of the sun above the horizon, and this phenomena is called advanced sunrise. Now you have a similar phenomena for the advanced sunset. So the second which we have to discuss is the delayed sunset. Now if you have understood the first phenomena, that it would be very easier for you to understand the delayed sunset concept. In delayed sunset, consider this is your earth and this is the observer which is present on the earth. Then surrounding the earth you have the presence of atmosphere. Okay, and this atmosphere is of changing or varying density. This is the layer of atmosphere present around the earth. Now what happens is, let's make the straight line which is horizon. So this line is the horizon. Now what would happen is, the sun would be present above the horizon. This is the sun which is present above the horizon. Now during sunset, when the actual sunset would appear, when this sun crosses the horizon and goes below it. Now the rays which are coming from the sun, if we draw out the rays, then the rays would pass till here, and once the sun goes down the horizon, that is at the time of actual sunset. This shows you the condition of actual sunset. Now if atmosphere would not be present, what can happen is the rays of the sun after sunset, they would pass straight, and because they would not undergo any sort of refraction, they would not enter the observer's eye. But because we have a layer of atmosphere surrounding our earth, what happens? The sun rays after sunset also, because of atmospheric refraction, they change its path. They get bent away from the normal and they enter the eyes of observer. And because of this reason, because of the atmospheric refraction, we are able to see the image of the sun, or simply I can write, we are able to see the sun after sunset also. And till for what duration? Till 2 minutes. We are able to see the sun till 2 minutes after sunset also. So this is the reason for advanced sunrise and delayed sunset. I hope the concept is clear. Now in the next class, we are left with 2 to 3 concepts. So we'll be discussing them. First one would be Tyndall effect, and then we'll be discussing some of the applications which I told you in the starting of the class, and this would complete your chapter Human Eye and Colorful World. So next then we'll be starting with the new chapter, the further chapters. So thank you for joining today's class. I hope you understood all the topics very well. If you have any sort of confusion, you can contact us anytime. Till then, stay home, stay safe, keep studying and keep following us. Thank you.